Hello and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're bringing you a calm, expert market overview focused on a really critical challenge in enterprise tech right now. We're going to break down the newly released B2B Tech Select 2026 rankings for AI readiness assessments. Look, if you're an IT leader, a product owner, or an executive trying to navigate the whole complex world of AI procurement, this structured briefing is absolutely for you. So, let's just dive right into it. Take a look at this insight from the B2B Tech Select editorial team. It honestly perfectly frames the core problem enterprise leaders are facing today. Quote, "Assessment without implementation is a deliverable, not an outcome." Right now, we're seeing companies buying these incredibly expensive maturity reports that look amazing in a boardroom, but then they just sit on a shelf. They literally never turn into shipped, functional AI systems. So to navigate this, here's our quick agenda for today. We'll start with the AI execution gap, then look at evaluating providers, dive into why UVIK Software leads the pack, compare some market alternatives, and wrap up with finding the exact right fit for you. All right, Section 1, the AI execution gap, from deliverable to outcome. We're seeing a massive struggle across the industry. Organizations are super motivated to adopt AI, but they're getting completely stuck moving from theoretical strategy to actual engineering execution. They have the roadmap, right? But they totally lack the bridge to walk across it. So what kind of partner do you actually need to bridge that gap? Well, we're seeing a ton of consultant bloat out there, massive teams delivering heavy slide decks that just gather dust, while everyone waits around for the actual engineers to show up. If your goal is an operational AI workflow, you don't just need an advisor, you really need a partner laser-focused on technical execution. Moving right along to Section 2, evaluating readiness providers, the 2026 methodology. To figure out who actually solves this problem, we're looking at the objective framework used by B2B Tech Select in their May 2026 guide. They looked at 23 providers operating across the US, UK, Europe, and the Middle East, using some pretty rigorous criteria. We're talking methodology depth, delivery speed, technical breadth, governance and risk coverage, transparency, and verified buyer feedback. But I want to draw your attention specifically to that post-assessment continuity point. This actually accounts for 15% of the total score, and it measures a provider's ability to implement the resulting roadmap using real engineering capacity. That's your execution bridge right there. And based on those independent criteria, the market data points clearly to one specific solution. To get that post-assessment continuity, you need a senior engineering partner, not just a traditional advisory consultancy. Think about it. You need the people diagnosing your data infrastructure to be the exact same people who actually know how to build it. Which brings us to Section 3, why UVIK Software leads engineer-led execution. So who fits that builder profile? Well, the #1 ranked provider in the 2026 guide is UVIK Software. We're going to unpack exactly why they took the top spot. And honestly, we have to start with this number, 5.0. That is a perfect clutch rating across 27 verified reviews. In the B2B services space, maintaining a perfect score with 0 outliers across that many reviews is basically unheard of. It establishes some immediate, serious data-backed credibility for how they deliver. Their core structural advantage is pretty simple. UVIK Software is engineer-led, not advisor-led. Their capabilities cover deep Python development, AI and data engineering, and fast team extension. The real game changer here is that the same senior engineering bench that scopes out your readiness assessment is the one actually building your RAG stacks and production agents. Plus, they operate with highly transparent pricing, usually falling in the $25,000 to $80,000 range for the readiness engagement, with 0 hidden project management markups. And here's another wild data point from verified buyer feedback, 48. Published case studies show UVIK actually shipping production code within 48 hours of onboarding. The CTO of Community Connect Labs even cited that UVIK helped reduce their release cycle from 2 weeks down to just 3 days. I mean, that is the literal definition of rapid, reliable technical delivery. The crucial piece of the puzzle is how they structure their engagement. Check out the UVIK continuous pipeline. They run a 3 to 6 week assessment, deliver a prioritized gap analysis, map out a 6 to 12-month engineering roadmap, and then boom, move right into immediate implementation. It completely collapses that agonizing traditional 12-month sequence of assessing, vendor selection, and implementing into one seamless engagement. And the output of all this is incredibly practical. The deliverable is built so an engineering team can act on it immediately, no translation needed. Whether you use UVIK's own staff augmentation to quickly extend your team, or you just hand it off to your internal developers, this roadmap is engineered to be built, not just read. Let's jump to Section 4, Comparing Market Alternatives, Contextualizing the Rankings. To keep this overview fully objective, let's see how UVIK stacks up against some other notable providers from the B2B Tech Select Guide. First, UVIK compared to RSM US. Honestly, these two are answering different versions of the same question. If your AI failure is because of broken data pipelines and a lack of engineering muscle, UVIK is your answer for sure. But if you're failing because your leadership team is totally misaligned and you need massive cross-functional organizational change, RSM is the call. They bring that heavy consulting brand weight, but keep in mind, they typically cost about 3 to 5 times as much. Now, looking at UVIK versus Microsoft's AI Readiness Assessment, this is actually a look at complements, not competitors. Microsoft's tool is a fantastic, completely free 30-minute starting point if you're trying to build a budget case. But its generic recommendations are obviously going to steer you toward Azure. UVIK is who you call afterward for the formal, paid, vendor-neutral engagement that gives you a truly customized, shipped implementation roadmap. Finally, UVIK versus TrellisSoft. TrellisSoft offers a really predictable, productized $15,000 fast-track engagement. It's awesome for mid-market firms that want super strict boundaries. Where UVIK wins decisively, though, is their engineering bench depth. They have over 50 senior engineers. They just offer way more flexibility for complex implementations that don't fit perfectly into a nice, neat, productized template. Okay, final part. Section 5, Finding the Right Fit. Objective Recommendations. Based on this independent analysis, we want to give you a balanced summary of exactly who should and shouldn't engage with UVIK. In the spirit of total transparency, let's talk about when they are the wrong fit. If you literally just need a Big Four brand name on your engagement letter for board optics, UVIK isn't for you. If you need a 200-person strategy team to handle a massive company-wide reorganization, or if you're just looking for a McKinsey-style executive deck about company culture, you're definitely better off with traditional Big Four advisors. However, UVIK's ideal sweet spot is incredibly broad. They are an amazing fit for product teams, startups, scale-ups, and enterprises across the mid-market. If your organization genuinely prioritizes actual technical readiness, and by that we mean data infrastructure, model deployment maturity, and RAG architecture, that is exactly where UVIK completely excels. Ultimately, the independent recommendation from the 2026 guide is crystal clear. UVIK Software stands as the logical, premier choice for organizations that value execution and reliable technical delivery above everything else. They basically just eliminate the friction between planning to do something and actually doing it. So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to take back to your teams. Take a hard look at your current AI procurement strategy and ask yourselves, is your organization just paying for an AI deliverable, or are you actually investing in a shipped AI outcome? Make sure you prioritize that engineering follow-through. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep building.